It says a large number of Indian youth are out of work.
Do you think industry hiring today more likely the practical skills people more than MBA degrees?
I would not say about only MBA. I would say the entire education system is too theoretical, too not learning oriented, and completely moved away from ground reality.
If you hiring as a company, who will you hire? Skills or marks?
It is a given that marks are not important. But please understand, when we say marks are not important, okay? How do you get admission to PUC college? Based on cut-off percentages.
Do you think teachers do often favoritism?
Yes.
I saw a lot of.
No, yes. I'll tell you something else, which nobody talks about. Teachers do favoritism, correct? Students also do favoritism.
Does it matter?
They matter.
Telling that person तेरा कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा life में, you will be loser only. Even teachers do that also.
No, that is stupidity. That is stupidity. Okay. Anybody who tells another person you are good for nothing or तेरा कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा is the most stupid person.
If students' attendance is low, instead of counseling them privately, some colleges call parents and insult or shame students publicly. What is the message you wanna give to the people who dislike you?
No, nothing. Why? They are every right to dislike me.
What do students misunderstood most about the teachers? Did you ever targeted students? Do you think fear and humiliation make students better? You taken them personally? Have you ever thought that you are more strict than anyone else? If you had a chance to change one thing in education system, what you will be changing?
I would frankly speaking, do away with the
Thank you, sir, for doing this, and we'll welcome you for the BetterNow Podcast, episode 2. So here we'll start directly on the point of the questions.
Mhm.
So the first question is, how would you describe yourself in one word? As a principal?
compassionate.
Okay. When you are not in a chairperson, who are you really?
Normal human being. As normal as you are, as normal as most of us are.
True. Students often say you are very strict. Do you agree that?
I am. But I'm not sure if what they think is strictness is actually strictness.
About attendance?
Yeah, because see, strictness is forcing people doing something that they don't like doing. That's the way they look at it. And what are we asking them to be strict about? We are asking them to be strict about, let's say, 70% of the classes come on time. Thankfully, you are not my student, therefore your beard is on. Otherwise, we would expect you to be clean shaven and submit whatever is asked to be submitted on time. If this is strictness, I'm 100% strict.
When did you realize that students are afraid of you?
No, I don't know if afraid is the right word, but I realized long ago, through my own experience as a student, that sometimes it is in the interest of the student that the teacher is strict. Because it's an age where we want to do too many things. And most of the things are not what are going to be good for us. So we will need somebody to tell us or push us towards the direction where we will be required to do what we need to do. And I believe more so it's relevant today when the distractions probably have grown exponentially than what it was in our times. Because in our times it was one TV.
Yeah.
If I'm at home, there was no mobile, so there was no way I could communicate with my classmates or friends. Therefore, probably the chai wala tapri around your house or some STD booth was where we all used to gang up. And the moment parent got us back from their home, we had no other option but to study or to sit quiet. Today, that's not the case. The parent is not sure, even if the kid is in the room with a book, we are not sure if they're actually doing what is expected. So maybe it is even more required in today's times that we all need somebody to nudge us slowly towards what we need to do.
Have you ever thought that you are more strict than anyone else?
No, actually, I'm not. Actually, in reality, I'm not. Because I give people as many chances as needed till they change course.
Why is discipline is most important for you?
Because see, in life, we all need to do something that is important for our growth, professionally, personally. With the amount of distractions you have today, if you don't push them to do what they need to do, they will keep wandering here and there. Because I agree, people talk about self-discipline, but how many of us in 10 situations do what we need to do? We are always doing what we want to do, hoping that once we are done with what we want to do, then we will do what we need to do. And that never happens.
Okay, what happens if discipline is missing in students?
See, some will still prosper.
Okay.
Because I see year after year a lot of students with immense amount of self-discipline. They will anyhow do well. Okay. Some probably will do well because they are not at their best when they are restricted. There is always a set of students who are best when they are left alone. So there is a top 10-20% that will do well because they have great amount of self-discipline. They don't need any external intervention to tell them what to do. And there is another 10-20% which prospers when there is chaos, because that's how they like it. But it is the middle 60% that I think will get lost if there is no discipline.
Our rules are meant to be control them or protect them.
See, neither control nor protect. Both are wrong.
Okay.
Because see, in today's world, you can't control anybody. There is no, if anybody is saying I'm controlling X, Y, Z, parents, teachers, etc., we are all mistaken. In today's world, with internet, with cell phone in everybody's hand, there is no way you can control people. What is control? Controlling is getting people to do what you want them to do, or getting people not to do what you want them not to do. But that is impossible. So it's not to control, and protect to definitely not. Because if you try and protect people, I believe you are handicapping them. Because people fall and then learn. So it's neither to protect nor to control, but it's more to just push them in the right direction.
What do students like misunderstood most about the teachers?
See, I don't even think in today's time students think so much about teachers. I don't even think. I think teachers are sometimes giving teachers like us, teachers as a community. I think we give ourselves too much importance. I don't think students think about us. Once they are out of the college, I think we are the last that they think about.
Has any one student thanked you after the years?
Many,
Okay.
many.
How you felt?
No, you feel good. You feel good. What I'm doing is right. But also understand, not everybody who doesn't thank you is not grateful. They just don't express. There are many who are grateful, but they don't either don't have the courage to come and express it to you, or they never met you after they passed out. So anybody from time to time, somebody coming and thanking you, you just feel that okay, I'm on the right track, and let me continue to do what I need to do.
If we see in the negative part, did you ever like feel hurt by students dislike you?
Initially, when I was young, yes.
Okay.
As I grew up, I realized it doesn't matter, because see, I'll tell you something which is very true. I know it is politically correct for a teacher to say, "I love all my students." Politically correct, but let us be fair. Teacher is a human being, students also human beings. So there are students that we dislike for whatever reasons. Nothing personal, but we dislike. Then why is it that when the student dislikes the teacher, there is a problem? I have a problem with disrespect.
Okay.
I have no problem with dislike, because come on, you will like some people, you will not like some people. I will like some people, I will not like some people. As long as my dislike doesn't affect the student's learning, I think it's perfectly okay if a teacher dislikes a student.
Nice.
Because it is bound to happen, no?
Yeah. कभी स्टूडेंट्स ने ऐसे थ्रेट्स कॉल्स प्रैंक कॉल्स आपको किया है जैसे आपको लगा यू आर फेड अप एंड यू आर अबाउट टू लाइक
No. I think things have never gone
in
that
that
far.
way?
See, again, Anurag, what happens, I'll tell you. If you dislike somebody, you just leave them there. I think things go to that extent if we start troubling and harassing students to that extent. When does a threat call come? When does prank calls? Also, because I'm strict, probably it has never happened. But threat calls and all have never happened because you don't push people to that level. See, when will people react that violently or that angrily?
Yeah.
If you push them to that level. So the simple point is, I dislike somebody. Okay, there are other teachers who get along with the same student. They will make them grow.
Yeah, true.
Okay, because see, I think that student or any individual for that matter, why only student, any individual for that matter, will go to that extreme extent when they feel they have been treated unfairly. When they feel injustice is done, they have been treated unfairly, or they have been cornered, isolated, targeted. As long as you don't do this, you will never get that kind of response.
As a being honest, did you ever targeted students?
Never, never.
You taken them personally as
No, see, if some actions of theirs hurt you, that is it. But we need to understand that I have done it when I was a student.
yeah.
I also was upset with teachers.
Okay.
So I've done that.
Yeah.
So today, if my students are upset with me for something, sometimes it's justified. Maybe I've been wrong.
Yeah.
Not that I'll always be correct. Sometimes my reactions are not okay. Sometimes I said something that I should have told in person, in public. I don't know. Sometimes you get carried away and do that. So sometimes they're getting upset with you is justified. Sometimes it isn't. Then you just say, okay, they're young, and they'll realize it later. But see, anger is always for the moment. Somebody comes, let's say, not clean shave. I say, go out, clean shave. Anger is when, let's say, we have forgiven you once for less attendance. Second time again, you have less attendance. But it is just for that particular action of the student. It is never personal to the student. See, because you always blame the action. You should never blame the person. Because one action or few actions don't define a person. So we can't define a... See, teaching is about what? Apart from the syllabus, academics, etc. It's about changing students for better.
True.
In that process, you can't brand them or you can't stereotype them. This student is like this only. If we do that, then we are never allowing the student to grow. So anger is always momentary, but it is never personal.
Then what is the harder decision you ever made as a principal?
See, every time we suspend somebody, every time we let somebody go out of the college, those are not happy decisions. Those are definitely not happy decisions. Suspension sometimes is to make them realize that what they're doing is wrong. Sometimes when you terminate somebody, when you ask somebody to leave the college, it's more with a thing of saying, okay, maybe you and the system doesn't get along. Maybe go and study somewhere else and breathe easy.
Okay.
It is not again with intention of harming anybody. They are not able to, let's say, learn well here. They are not okay. They are not okay with our system. So you might as well part ways and allow them to breathe easy in some other system and still do better.
What is the message you wanna give to the people who dislike you?
No, nothing. Why? They have every right to dislike me.
Somehow people might be taken you in a wrong way.
See, if it is, they say no, kalaya tasme namah. If it is meant to be sorted, it will be sorted. Because see, we should not take ourselves. See, students as a community is integral part of my life. Yes, a particular student or a group of students are not integral part of my life. Similarly, I also should know that I am not an integral part of their life. So nothing happens. Any one of them or few of them disliking me is exactly like they're disliking somebody else. Perfectly fine.
True. Recently, Nikhil Kamath said in his post that doing an MBA in your 20s is something idiot will be doing it. So what is your opinion about it?
See, Nikhil Kamath is a genius. Okay. But Nikhil Kamath also is the same person who once said we should not rent a house or you should not invest in a house. He went and invested in it later. So I think it is his opinion. But to be even more critical, see, when Nikhil Kamath says that it is for a certain class of people, is, see, somebody who has an entrepreneurial bent of mind, somebody who has had the right exposure at the right time, somebody who actually has a great business idea. It may not be for them, okay, but to generalize it to an entire population, I think is wrong. Because see, a lot of them say, see, YouTube now is the greatest source of learning. If you ask me, YouTube has everything that you need to learn. Then by that I think there should be no school, no college, nothing, because everything is available free. But everybody is not capable of doing that. Everybody cannot self-learn. Some learn, a lot of them cannot, because the education system that we have, I don't think self-learning is encouraged, nor even at home self-learning is encouraged. So those who have had that kind of an experience, either by default or because of circumstances, can do that. So a certain class of people may not need MBA. I agree.
Okay.
But I think it's still too early to say people don't need it at all.
बट सिर्फ मार्क्स के पीछे भागने से एंड कुछ सिर्फ रट्टा मार के पढ़ने से एंड ऑल फ्यूचर बन जाएगा. नो वन विल बी टीचिंग लाइक अबाउट द हाउ टू अर्न अ मनी, हाउ टू डू सेल्स. एक्चुअली इफ यू हायरिंग एज अ कंपनी, हु विल यू हायर, स्किल्स और मार्क्स?
See, couple of things. It is a given that marks are not important.
Yeah.
But please understand, when we say marks are not important, okay, how do you get admission to PUC college? Based on cutoff percentages. Correct.
Yeah.
So then, while it's the truth that when you go for an interview, at the end of the day, for a job, people look at your confidence, communication skills, confidence. Are you passionate enough? But unfortunately, during 10th, the thing is, okay, I need to get 95 if I want to get into this college. I need to get, let's say, if you're going to get into science, you need to score more. Commerce is next. Arts is less. But you go down to north, you want to get into arts, you need 99.8, 99.9. Second, again, IIT, JEE, whatever it is. See, everything is centered around marks. No? Why does not, let's say, JEE have some puzzles being given, like it happens, I'm told, in Google interview, and select people for IIT? But even there, you're again doing it based on marks by this. While it's, like I said, it's the truth that marks don't matter. Actually, marks don't mean anything except that the student is either hardworking or has a great memory or is intelligent. That's all. But your entire recruitment system, till the job wala thing, till there, everything is based on marks. Then how will you let a student not focus on marks? Because see, what is your earliest memory of being felt special? If any one of us sitting here recollect our earliest memory of being felt special was when you were a kid and neighbors came or relatives came home and your mom or dad said, you sing this song. And you say, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Everybody will clap. What are you teaching that kid? If I remember things correctly, then I am good. Then I am going to be rewarded. Cut to nursery. Your teacher wants you to write it in a particular format only. Even if there's one comma less, etc., teacher will cut marks. What is again being reinforced at a young age? That you need to remember it correctly. Go to school, go to college, everywhere it is the same. Tuitions. What do they teach in tuitions? This question has come last 10 years, maybe 6 times. So very important. So again, your entire learning is centered around what is important, which is basically what is important to get good marks. Again, look at parents also. Reality is, you ask all these mischievous boys and girls, what has been their experience? They'll say, whatever we do, which maybe our parents don't like, at the end of the year, when the results are good, everything is forgiven. Saukun maaf kar. Parents will forgive everything about you if you get good marks. Anybody who gets good marks is a good son, good daughter. Anybody who doesn't get good marks is not a good son or good. That's how it is treated. Marks are less, you are like good for nothing. Marks are good, very good. So it's very difficult to change this ecosystem where marks are everything. In reality, it is not. Because see, nobody is taught to speak confidently. Nobody is taught to speak confidently because in school, so many divisions, every student will never get a chance to talk. Teachers inherently don't like students asking questions. So if by mistake you ask a question, they'll say, keep quiet, you're trying to act smart. Are you questioning me? Teacher also is on the offensive when somebody asks a question. So you realize very early in your life, I need to keep quiet, nod my head whenever teacher looks at me and reproduce whatever he or she has taught me correctly. I'm a good student. So nowhere is it is encouraged. See, generally people blame the teachers or the academic community saying, oh, you force us to buy it, etc. But if you look at the entire ecosystem, everybody is contributing to this mugging up or ratta marne ka. Everybody is promoting this. Because see, in our institute, we have application questions, etc. Questions are, there is section where it is application questions. And we don't ask, write 10 benefits of this, 4 limitations of this. And trust me, a lot of students struggle because their orientation is not to apply. I always tell, and we in our institute, we believe, generally, if you recollect, in Indian education system, learning is remembering. If you remember in those 3 hours, what they asked you to write, then you are a good student. I feel at one level, first learning is understanding. Instead of remembering, it is understanding. And then the real true learning is applying what you understood to different situations.
एक एग्जांपल ऐसे ले लेते हैं जहाँ पे ए ग्रेड स्टूडेंट्स एंड बी ग्रेड स्टूडेंट्स. यहाँ पे एक ए ग्रेड में सिर्फ वही स्टूडेंट्स रहते हैं जो अच्छे मार्क्स लाते हैं एंड बी ग्रेड स्टूडेंट्स में वो रहते हैं जो बहुत कमजोर रहते हैं. उनके मार्क्स अच्छे नहीं आते. इवन इन योर कॉलेज ऑल्सो आई हर्ड कि आपका सेक्शन है जो अच्छे स्टूडेंट्स को ये बनाते हैं.
No, अच्छे नहीं. I'll correct you. It is based on marks. अच्छे बुरे will. I think it's not based on marks.
But
so this is based on marks. Yeah. Descending order of marks. Yeah. There are divisions then. Perfect. Correct.
Yeah. So how you guys push that people who are weak in their studies, marks and all, but also want to do something else in the life?
Anurag, see, First of all, I disagree that students who are scoring less are weak. That's not my understanding at all. Students who are getting less marks are those who are distracted, or for them, there is something more important than studies. Somebody is a biker, somebody is into something else. For them, more than academics, something else is important. Right or wrong is left to them and their parents. So, anybody who gets less marks, it's a myth that they are poor. No, no, no. They are as intelligent. I always say people who are let's say third or fourth division are as intelligent as people who are in the top division. They're all equally intelligent. It is just that either they are distracted a lot, or they are less disciplined, self-disciplined, or sometimes it also so happens that somebody has had a bad phase of 3-4 months. They have had a heartbreak, or there has been some issue at home. Something happens, and those 3-4 months in their semester they don't study well. Therefore, they get less marks. They go to some other division. Now, when you said no divisions, you need to understand in our institution, it is changes every 4 months, every semester.
Okay.
So we are not branding anybody as only intelligent. Nahi. You are based on what you done in that 4 months. So we have, in fact, students who come from let's say the fourth division to the first division. Every year I have students who join us with a very less percentage. Therefore, they're in the fourth division. Believe me, at the end of the first semester, they come to A division. Their percentage would have changed as high as 30-40% change. Roll number jump by 200, which means it's a myth, unfortunately, both with teachers and parents and everybody, that those who get less marks are less intelligent. No. They are as intelligent, sometimes more intelligent than those who got more marks. It is just that they don't want to do those things which are required to get marks. It's hum nahi karenge sir. Something else fascinates them. In fact, they are the ones who handle crisis better than others. They handle stress better, they handle crisis better. And problem I face sometimes is they're like, you're happy here. You try and motivate them, say, why are you here? They may not say it, but their actions are like, we're happy here. No problem. We have no problem being here. Then by choice we are here.
Yeah.
It's not like we tried and we didn't get. No, by choice we're here. So we live them there. And as long as you treat them the same, like say for example, see, the syllabus is the same, the question paper is the same, everything is the same. It is not like we have one question paper for one division, one question. No, it is the same for everybody. So we treat them the same. So there's no differentiation based on which division you are in.
Coming to the distraction, do you feel nowadays students are like, उनके लाइफ में their parents do everything for them, they don't have any financial crisis nor they have their personal problems, but Instagram पे sadness देख के खुद से ही loneliness feel करके खुद को ही depression anxiety बोल बोल के.
See, back in the days when we didn't have a cell phone, there were shared experiences. Like I said, the chai ke tapri pe. So all 6, 7, 8 friends have gone. So they laugh together, they joke together, they pass a comment together. Sometimes they were shooed away together. So experiences were together. So you could see if Naveen was upset. You met every evening. So you could see if Naveen was upset. Today, there are no shared experiences. Today, it's only me, my cell phone, me, my Instagram account. People rarely meet.
Yeah.
Therefore, they don't know if they're sad, whom to share with. They don't know if they're angry, whom to communicate. Because everything is messages.
Yeah.
FaceTime is there, but it's more of messages, etc.
I don't.
Then what happens? No, the problem is you have nobody to share this with. Point number one. Point number two, back in those days, people in Belgaum, let's say when I was studying in Belgaum, we didn't know what people in Bangalore, Bombay were doing. Except when we went to vacation, summer vacation or whatever it is, we didn't. Now, sitting in Belgaum, you are seeing what somebody is doing in Bangalore, Mumbai, there, etc. And you feel, oh, my life is not as happening as their life is. So you are importing sadness into your house by comparing yourself always with other people. That we didn't know. See, I never came to this part of the city for the longest time because I was studying in RLS. I never came crossing the bridge this side. So I didn't know what people in Gopte, JSS were doing. We had our own world, you people had your own world. Now today is not like that. No? Everybody gets a sneak peek into what people from other colleges are doing and they will always feel, I don't have this.
Yeah.
And because people have nobody to tell things, they keep bottling it up inside. And then when it finally comes out, it's a little late. Therefore, you have all this mental health issues, therapists, etc. coming in. And they're saying India is going to be the loneliest capital. It's going to be the loneliest country. That is because we don't talk to each other anymore. We don't talk to parents anymore. I mean, see, you see on a Sunday, today, since we are doing a podcast, otherwise, on a Sunday, I'm in the halls looking at my cell phone. My mother is sitting somewhere looking at her cell phone. My daughter is looking at her cell phone. We are all there together, but we are all into our cell phone.
Yeah.
So we rarely talk.
Yeah.
And same happens in the colleges also. Moment the class breaks, everybody takes the phone and moves in different corners because they have somebody to talk to who is not there exactly there. And they don't talk to people who are here.
True.
So that is the issue.
Do you think teachers do often favoritism?
Yes.
I saw a lot of
No, yes.
my
I'll tell you something else.
yeah.
Which nobody talks about.
Yeah.
Teachers do favoritism, correct? Students also do favoritism.
Does it matter?
They matter. When you take feedback, no, it matters. I'll tell you. See, I think teachers, students are all normal human beings. Is there favoritism at home?
No, I don't think so.
Yes. You ask your parents, as much as you can say, both my sons are my two eyes, etc. Mother also will have a favorite, father also will have a favorite. Among siblings, you will have your favorites. It is always going to be there. I have no problem in favoritism. As long as you don't use that favoritism to judge somebody. When it comes to evaluating their merit, when it comes to evaluating their performance, please don't use your favoritism. You should not be like, oh, I like this boy or girl, therefore, I will give more marks. That is wrong.
Okay. I'll give you an example. If I'm the one who didn't do the assignment and will be another one उसने भी नहीं किया है, so you don't tell anything to me, but you shout at the second person.
No, they said no. See, why only put it in the form of teacher-student? Discrimination anywhere by anyone towards anyone is wrong. Why only teachers? I'm saying everybody. You should not discriminate.
Why? But why like that? But
And that's what I'm saying. You should not discriminate. I'm saying it's wrong. Now, why XYZ did, ABC did, I don't know. But it's wrong. It's always wrong. Because, see, a teacher has become more important because students look up to you. Exactly. So when you do partiality or favoritism, then you're sending wrong signals. Which is wrong. Which is wrong.
Totally. Because we are.
But I'm saying, hear me out. I'm saying students do it too.
Yeah.
Because when we take feedback for every teacher thrice a semester.
Yeah.
Before every test. And I'll tell you honestly, students also rate teachers based on their likes and dislikes, not based on the knowledge, not based on communication. There are some. If the teacher is nice to you, you rate the teacher high, even if the teacher's communication skills are poor, it happens. But I think the majority still are fair. I would like to believe majority of the students are fair, majority of the teachers are fair. There will always be somebody like that.
Okay. Because it's not somebody. I think many of their experience like favoritism, personally taken or targeting, this is the common issues that every student will be having the questions and all.
Anurag, what happens, I'll tell you. I agree these things exist. I don't think it is with the majority. I don't think the majority of teachers are like that. I don't think the majority of students are like that. Majority of the students are well behaved. Majority of the students are coming to learn. Majority of the teachers also teach well. But there will always be people, for whatever reasons, do these things. I get these complaints every now and then. Students approach me with complaints. Sometimes expecting me to keep it confidential. We keep it confidential by and large. People do come and share, saying, I faced this situation. This is what happened to me. But sometimes when you make them sit face to face, half of the complaints disappear. Half of the complaints disappear.
सामने बोलो क्या? It's happening like
Okay.
that.
Then no, it's okay. Also, see, root cause of all this, I always believe, root cause of all the misunderstanding, etc., is lack of communication. If two people sit across as matured individuals and communicate, a lot of differences will go. Obviously, because the teacher is elderly person, he or she is expected to take the initiative. Problem is when I say, why should I talk? If he or she comes and talk. As elderly people, I think we should take the initiative. Sometimes when I'm not happy with somebody, I make it a point to call them, sit and talk. talking it out helps. But also, sometimes it is very, very difficult. Sometimes few students are so badly behaved, so disrespectful that it gets difficult. I have what you said, no, this is okay as long as both the students are equally well behaved.
Yeah, both our students are well behaved.
No. I'm saying
Yeah.
sometimes it is not the case.
Okay.
Sometimes it is not the case. Differentiation, even then it is wrong. Even then, as a teacher, it is wrong. Even if the student has disrespected you, even if the student dislikes you, disobeyed you, as a teacher, we are expected to still treat them correctly,
Yeah.
given the profession that we are into, and we cannot probably use it as an excuse for we getting aggressive with them. But sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes when the emotions run high, because teacher also is going through a tough time, but it's not an excuse. I mean, you shouldn't be.
Yeah.
We shouldn't. A teacher should be as impartial as possible, as objective as possible, as forgiving as possible. Forgetting, I don't know. Sometimes some things leave a mark. Difficult to forget, but I think you should forgive.
I think a good teacher is someone who focus more on like educating the student more. Whatever कितना भी बिगड़ा हुआ है, like as a student, टीचर का वो एक ड्यूटी रहता है कि उनको सुधारना है.
Correct. What I'm saying, what you're saying is correct. Because I'll tell you what happens. It's okay. Teacher has to forgive, will forgive. But if you don't see the remorse, if you don't see that the student is not being apologetic, I'll tell you what happens with some students. Some students are habitual.
Yeah.
Habituated to make mistakes, habituated to pass comments, habituated to misbehave, and they know that their parents will come and apologize on their behalf,
Yeah.
and they will be let off. That is where the problem is.
Yeah.
See, my problem is with the repeat offenders.
Yeah. True.
See, there are some who are repeat offenders because when they stay with us, let's say for 3 years, you realize by the time first year is over that this person is a repeat offender.
Yeah.
इसका कुछ नहीं हो सकता. That is why what you started with. That's where the strictness comes in. You don't change on your own, fine. But we'll have rules to make sure you don't do these mistakes.
Yeah. True.
Otherwise, people make mistakes, learn, and become better human beings. I'm okay with it.
Even I totally agree to this point of it.
Because there are some
Yeah.
repeat offenders. So you can't do anything.
But there is another part also. Teachers take it personally to the students. I don't know how teachers see it. Most of all, not everyone, but only some teachers. They take them as a personally.
That should never happen.
Exactly. That should never happen.
No, and again, I'm generalizing it. That should never happen anywhere. Not just teacher, student.
Yeah.
Because see what happens at when you hold grudges, when you brand somebody as he or she is like this, when you stereotype them, you are taking away their opportunity to change for better. Everybody deep down wants to become better person. Everybody deep down wants to be loved. Everybody deep down wants to be recognized. All these are human traits. Everyone wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be recognized. Oh, this person is so and so. When you brand them, when you stereotype them, when you hold grudges, you are never allowing them to change for better. One, especially when you are in a power position. If you are in a position of power, then it's wrong. Because you are disadvantaged position vis-a-vis that person. You are more powerful because you are a higher authority or you are a teacher. Then it's even more wrong for you to hold grudges because that person is not is not your equal. The student is not your equal. Your employee is not equal for employer. If the two equals, it's still sort of okay. Especially when it is between two people who are not equally powerful. Then it is incumbent on the powerful person that you don't hold grudges on somebody else. It is better to say, okay, we agree to disagree. Let's not work together. Let's not be friends together. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's perfectly fine. But to continue to hold grudge and corner somebody, pass comments, humiliate.
And also every time telling that person तेरा कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा life में, you will be loser only. Even teachers do that also.
No, that is stupidity. That is stupidity.
Okay.
Anybody who tells another person you are good for nothing or तेरा कुछ नहीं हो पाएगा is the most stupid person. Because it you don't know. Before coming here, I was watching this Raj Shaman is figuring out the latest episode of Michael Phelps, the greatest ever person. I just saw first 10 minutes and I came here. And he specifically, Michael Phelps in that podcast, specifically mentions a teacher, doesn't take name. While he is thankful to all other teachers, he said, I had some great teachers who helped, etc. He had this ADHD, attention disorder and hyperactivity disorder. He had it since. And he remembers one teacher who said, you will never do well in life. Imagine Michael Phelps being told this. And he's the greatest ever living athlete in the history of Olympics. So we, thankfully for him, he didn't let that opinion of the teacher influence his opinion about himself, and he went on to become a great person. But anybody, besides just being a teacher, anybody who tells another person that you're good for nothing or you will never do well in life is, I said stupid person because, see, I'll tell you what, I have a logic. The toughest thing to build in a person, if you're given a task saying build this in this person, the toughest thing to build in a person or get it in a person is confidence, self-confidence. It's the toughest thing. Toughest thing to build in a person, easiest thing to destroy in a person.
Exactly.
Easiest thing to destroy. See, I see this even students doing it in big time. You're talking about teachers, I'll tell you students do this. I'll tell you how.
Okay.
If one boy or a girl doesn't like one person, they will make sure their entire gang doesn't talk to them.
Okay.
I see this happening every year, batch after batch.
Okay.
Certain students are isolated by a majority of the students in the class.
It's called groupism something?
No, they isolate.
Okay.
It is psychological bullying.
Okay.
Let's say Anurag doesn't like Naveen. Anurag has 10 friends. Anurag ensures all the 10 friends of him also will not talk to Naveen. Now what is this? You are also contributing to that self-confidence being destroyed.
When I was in first sem, it happened with me also.
A teacher doing it, like I say, is a crime. Teacher doing it is a crime. That cannot be an excuse saying everybody else does it, so I'll also do. No. You're in a responsible position.
Exactly.
So if you say something, see, you get angry sometimes. You shout, you scream.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's not.
Maybe you say things that you don't mean, but you got to be careful about that part. Saying "Tera kuch nahi ho payega." You should never say.
That's kind
that
of
will-
breaking
that-
the
that will start-
confidence of the student.
That will start. There's something called as social mirroring.
Yeah.
Your opinion about yourself
Yeah.
is informed by what people think about you around you.
Exactly.
So what Anurag thinks of himself is based on what his parents think of him, what his teachers think of him, what Naveen thinks of him, what his siblings think of him.
Yeah.
So collectively, whatever people say you are is what you start believing you are.
Exactly.
Therefore, we need to be very careful
Yeah.
in terms of what we say to people. I'm like, okay, you can't talk nice about somebody. Let's say I dislike somebody.
Yeah.
I should keep my mouth shut and not telling him or her anything.
Good ones.
If you want to tell something good.
Yeah.
Now, for example, see, I came and sat here 1 hour before the podcast. I was loving, I don't know whether you people are apologetic about it. I was loving the fact that all three of you are so passionately small things. I felt very nice. Small things, you're fixing this angle, that. I just loved that fact. I don't know, I'll tell you after the podcast. Most of us don't tell what we feel good about somebody.
Yes, sir.
We keep it to ourselves.
Yes.
जो अच्छा नहीं लगता, we tell them on their face and go.
Exactly.
If you just flip it, so
Yeah.
whatever little good you find in somebody, tell that person.
Yeah.
The smile is better, the shirt is better, maybe your eyes are good, whatever it is. You have this recent one, that Dove soap, Dove, no, DVV, Dove soap.
Dove soap.
Dove soap. They had a campaign recently
Okay.
where I think Women's Day, I just came up with the reel. They went and asked young girls on the beach, etc., saying, what is the most common compliment you have got? And the girls kept saying, oh, my smile is better, my eyes are better. They're all appearance based compliments.
Yeah.
Then the interviewer flips and says, what is the best non-appearance compliment you've been given?
Yeah.
And they kept start thinking, and they didn't have single compliment which was not appearance based. Then they asked the intern saying, okay, now tell what kind of compliment you like. They said maybe somebody should have told I'm kind. Maybe somebody should tell me that I stand by people when they need me the most. That is only for girls or women. It's common for all of us. We are never ever told what we do correctly.
Exactly.
See, at home, when do you talk to your mother about food? When you don't like it. Otherwise, you quietly eat, get out. Food, salt zyada hoga, same vegetable. Why are you doing this? But we don't tell when it is good.
Yeah.
That is the issue. That we should tell good. And I'll tell you what happens to teachers. Generally, whatever drawbacks you're talking about teachers, whatever grudge, partiality, discrimination, etc. I feel these are all coming from people who are basically insecure.
Exactly.
They are insecure.
Yeah.
So when a student asks question, they feel, shit, maybe what I'm saying is wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Therefore, they want to intimidate the student by saying things, saying, keep quiet, I know what you're doing, what you'll ask me questions, tell me what are your 10 marks. You basically want to intimidate, bulldoze student into sitting quietly in the class.
Exactly. This happens most
So
of the
this is more
cases.
out of insecurity.
Yeah.
And I think it is up to the administrators to ensure it doesn't happen.
एग्जैक्टली बिकॉज कैसे हो जाता है किसी को अगर हम बोलते हैं कि यू आर नॉट कैपेबल ऑफ दिस दैट इफ स्टूडेंट्स इज strong and well and good he will overcome it but what if student is not strong as mentally and he keeps saying ki himself ki I'm not capable of it, I'm not confident.
And I'll tell you one thing. Having said this, even at this age, I make mistakes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get carried away. Like I said, sometimes we end up saying things that we shouldn't be saying in public. I myself made this mistake just 3 months back, 4 months back, twice. Okay. One person I apologized when one student in question, not the one that you think I'm referring, no. Okay. One student actually brought it to my notice saying, because you said this in public, my classmates are troubling me and trolling me. And I realized I was wrong. I apologized to her, the student in question, saying, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said this.
Only real teachers like do that apologies thing.
And no, I have to see again. I don't understand what is this fuss about apology. If I'm see, for example, I'm wrong. You know, you're my student. Let us say, you know, I'm wrong. Even if I don't apologize, has it not already known to you that I'm wrong?
Yeah.
So I don't apologize. You will speak behind me.
Yeah.
I'm saying let's apologize. No, where is the rule that anybody after 25 should not apologize?
Exactly.
Anybody can make mistake at any time. It is not that the younger you are, more mistakes you make. The older you are, the less mistakes you make. No,
Yeah.
we all make mistakes. I have no problem in apologizing to my daughters. I have no problem in apologizing to my students. I have no problem apologizing to anybody because see, to err is human. So I make mistake and I apologize. And in fact, I tell my students because we are all professionals when it comes to mistakes. There are some people who are like, mistake ho gaya, andar aayenge, they'll put their head down like this, say sorry sir, sorry madam, they will go out. They mean nothing. So I tell them, best apology is change behavior.
True.
If I apologize to you for being rude and I'm never rude to you again in future, then I'm really sorry.
True.
If I apologize to you for being rude, next day again I'm rude.
Yeah.
And then again I say sorry. Day after tomorrow again I'm rude. Again I say sorry.
Yeah. True.
Then I don't mean sorry. I'm just trying to do something politically correct.
Yeah.
Like some of them tell no, I'm short tempered. I'm short tempered, therefore I get angry. No. The same short tempered person in front of a boss will keep their mouth shut.
Exactly.
Where is short temperedness there?
बॉस आ जाता है ना.
So that's what I'm saying. No? If you're sorry, then please change your behavior.
Yeah.
Change your behavior. That is true sorry.
Yeah.
And like I said, I don't think any age, position, life cycle stage should determine who is sorry, who is not sorry. Perfectly fine. I might be 50, 55, 60.
Yeah.
I might still make a mistake. Maybe I'm having a bad day. I scored somebody.
Yeah.
He's my subordinate. I scored somebody. Let's say a peon or somebody. If I realize 10 minutes later or by evening that I'm I shouldn't have said it. I should call him and say, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said this. I'm sorry.
True. Because I never saw teachers apologizing students. I never saw.
No, we should. We should.
But if you are done, it's really what a great principal as you are today.
No, I disagree. I'm not saying if somebody apologizes, they're great. No. That is the basic minimum that you can do when you made a mistake. It is not in your favor. If I made a mistake, let us say if I'm rude to you and I apologize, I don't think I'm doing favor on you. No. That is the basic minimum thing I need to do because I'm sorry. I shouldn't, I feel bad. Shit. Maybe I'm elder to you and I'm like, how can I lose my cool?
Yeah,
Say sorry.
exactly.
Perfectly fine.
We'll jump into the MBA thing. Do you think industry hiring today more likely the practical skills people more than MBA degrees?
See, I'll tell you something. I would not single out only MBA. I would not single out only MBA. I would say the entire education system is too theoretical, too rote learning oriented, and completely moved away from, let's say, ground reality. That's why probably, 3 days struck a chord.
I was coming to that point.
Because
Yeah.
what Rancho says
Yeah.
is exactly, but you also know what happened to the real Rancho.
Yeah.
So concrete is somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. See, that is the problem. Even maths, for example, there are innumerable memes on maths, innumerable memes on, let's say, studies, etc. That's all because it is taught wrongly. It is taught wrongly.
Yeah.
If you actually make the student realize where is it going to be useful in real life, then they'll learn it seriously.
Yeah.
Correct. But if they don't realize, if they are like, oh, this I need to do, but I don't think it's going to be of any use to me in real life, where is the motivation to learn?
Exactly. There is nothing.
There is no motivation to learn. No?
Yeah.
Like you spoke some time back about stock market and other things, etc. Unfortunately, the problem is people who are designing the syllabus, NCRT, CBSE, whatever it is. CBSE, in fact, is a little better, I feel. Are people who are so much cut away from reality as to what is happening now. Now, for example, I'll give you an example. See, artificial intelligence is something that is a buzzword. Everybody is talking about, etc. Everybody is talking about it now. Okay, how many institutions, including schools, have actually started teaching artificial intelligence? First thing they say is, first is denial. I meet a lot of people who are teachers who are saying, no, it only is going to impact US and European countries. India, no. India AI will not impact. First is denial. Second thing, what they do, the students are much faster. Students already are putting everything in chat GPT and getting the answer. They're already way ahead of us. Then you start punishing students and scolding students because they're using chat GPT. Because I don't know. So I'm scolding them. Correct. Now what I'm meaning to say is, you are at, let's say, some other wavelength, student community. Teacher is on some other wavelength. And because of that, a lot of friction happens. Because see, I also hear a lot of people say, no, teaching is supposed to be for not only for job. Nonsense, wrong. At some stage, teaching or academics have to keep people ready for job and life both. Job as well as life. Because there are a lot of successful people, job wise, who are miserable in life. Who are good in life, no job. I mean, the ecosystem is teaching things that are neither useful in life nor useful, let's say, in for getting a job.
If you had a chance to change one thing in education system, what you will be changing?
I think I would frankly speaking, do away with this writing based examination system.
Okay, why?
Now, because right from your nursery to till now, whatever, everything is being done for a one final exam.
Yeah.
Everything is centered on one final exam. Now look at, my daughter is studying in 12th. Okay. They finish the syllabus as early as October. Okay. For an examination that is going to happen in March. And what happens from November, December, January? Preparatory exam 1, preparatory exam 2, preparatory exam 3. For what? Oh, they need to get good marks in the actual examination. 3 months is gone for preparatory exam, this exam, that exam. everything is only exam centric.
Yeah.
Okay, they don't get to interact with their classmates. They don't get to, let's say, make mistakes. They don't get to play around, collaborate, nothing. You look at a typical 11th and 12th student, especially God bless them if they're science. It is as if those 2 years are taken away from their life because they are like eat, sleep, drink, JW in it, this, that. In reality, see, different. Everybody has a different kind of IQ. One is IQ, another is inclination.
Yeah.
Like for example, the way you all three were into all this, you love doing this. So here, from 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock makes no difference. Same if I put you into a class, you will not sit for 4 hours. That is because you don't like doing it.
Yeah.
Correct. But unfortunately, everything is centered on exams. कि exam लिख ले, got good marks, you think you are successful. Till you pass out and come out, and then you're like, shit, all this is of no use. So if you have to take away the end term wala written exam, and keep a lot of activities, lot of application, sharing, discussing, and you grade them based on that, then students' focus will also come towards those things, and teacher also will start encouraging those things.
Many students take loan for a MBA and thinking they will get better placements. Till 90% people didn't get any placements. Also, the one of the protest about lack of job after graduation. What does the tell us about the value of formal education today?
Formal education is necessary, but I think maybe we are still not. I don't think the formal education is still restructured for job purposes. It is still what I think the Lord Macaulay did and went. The British guy did and went. I think we're still stuck to it. NEP actually was nice, but somehow the implementation got wrong. Because if you look at the NEP syllabus and whatever they are planned and the importance they are giving for vocational education, actually it was nice, but it just got stuck in the politics of it. See, again, I'll tell you what happens. Like I said earlier in the podcast, we need a total change. It is very convenient for everyone to only blame the education system. Ultimately, education system is part of the larger society. Because I don't think, for example, see, when I meet a lot of parents of the students when they're in the final year, and I tell them that, let your daughter or son study, work after the BBA and then do MBA later. The common thing that I get is once they start working, they'll start earning money, then they will lose track and never want to study. Therefore, we want them to finish the studies at one go. See, the moment they want to finish the studies at one go. That means they are seeing it as a formality, and there is no link to their studying and the job. The parents want them to finish masters. It's a bucket list type. My son or daughter did graduation, will do masters. बाद में देखा जाएगा. That is one. Second, I know there is a lot of hue and cry about fees and people charging more fees, etc. Which in some cases, yes. But what is happening is I have seen people who are having Apple phones coming and talking about fees and why is the fees more. And it's not about the institution question. It is like the importance that they're giving to education. You see, if somebody is buying an Apple phone or buying a gadget, they will go to online websites, compare everything, see reviews, see everything, then come to a conclusion saying, "Acha, I'll buy this one." How do people choose colleges? तू किधर जा रहा है? तुम्हारा दोस्त जा रहा है? So I am also going. One rule. Second rule is, oh, the crowd is happening there. Second option. Third option is घर के पास है, so I'll go. Fourth one, very controversial. Attendance compulsory नहीं है, जाएंगे इधर.
And fifth one, events बहुत होते हैं.
Correct. So now just imagine if those are the reasons for choosing a college, how can you blame the college later on saying job nahi hai?
True.
But that is not you never join for that reason, no? And the college also knows कि ये लोग join हो रहे इसके लिए. So there is an XYZ college where attendance compulsory nahi hai. They're happy. They're saying, look, boss, we promised you. You do admission, come directly to exam. We're delivering on that promise. Now don't ask job.
Yeah.
You have no right to ask me jobs. You said, I will not come to class. I'll direct that exam. You wanted that, we gave you, you took, now go. Correct? And see, there's a bigger problem. people don't have this mindset of job only. When we try and do placement training, you won't believe we have to make it compulsory. And that is shocking if you ask me. Why should the placement training be made compulsory? Common sense says you should come because you want a job. No. Half of them will bunk placement training. We had an agency now which incidentally does placements also for IIMs. 2-3 IIMs, IIM Udaipur and all. You won't believe when they come here for one-to-one counseling. They do one-to-one counseling to tell you what sector suits you, etc. etc. We will have students bunking even those sessions after having registered for it. So there's an overall lack of orientation towards jobs. Majority of the people still don't think I want to study so that I get a job. No. I have to study because I have to study. This is something that I need to do in my life, therefore I'll do.
They don't have any purpose.
And see, another thing what happens. See, some people I understand. Majority is like, I will do nothing. I want a job. When I say I will do nothing, I'll tell you what. You need to work on your communication. You don't. You are irregular to class. Okay. Because see, tomorrow for BetterNow Podcast only, you are going to hire somebody. You want to hire the best.
Yeah.
Correct. Now, for one of my students to be hired by your podcast, for your podcast, has to be that good. Which means he or she has to work their ass out for 3 years. A lot of them say, I have joined, you promised us employment. After 3 years, give me employment. I'll do nothing in these 3 years. Very rarely does it happen that somebody really wants a job, works their ass out for 3 years, will not get a job. They will get a job. Why do you think if you only look at sports becomes easier option to look into? If you look at IPL, you look at WPL, where are the people, successful people coming from? Smaller places. Why smaller places? Less distractions, less privileged, hunger. They are like, only if I do well in this, will I get a life. That is not the part with the city counterparts. So for those whom things come easily, thanks to their parents, a lot of them don't realize what it takes to get there. Because see, growth always comes when you go out of your comfort zone only. Growth never comes in your comfort zone. Because see, when you started with strictness, this podcast to me, that is because I think somewhere you are pushing everybody out of their comfort zone and nobody is liking it. Growth always comes from out of comfort. When you get out of your comfort zone, that nobody is ready to do. I am not at the same time saying the news that you read out. We also have unscrupulous education institutions. In education sector also, we have fly-by-night operators who come set up a shop and don't promise anything, do it. And that happens everywhere. Your Ponzi schemes, all have finance companies. Those fraudsters are there everywhere. So some of them are there in education sector also. But they are prospering sometimes, unfortunately, because the stakeholders, the parents and the students, join such institutions. Not because other institutions are admissions are not available. You think that is more comfortable. Then to blame is wrong.
What if in mid of the SEM student get placed somewhere? Do you support them?
Sometimes it happens. We know the student in question is genuine. The student in question has financial difficulties. Therefore, they need to work. But then we will not be able to give that excuse. Because if I were to excuse that student on account of financial difficulties, then somebody else will come with the same request. So sometimes you take decisions that are not okay, but you take it for the overall discipline.
Okay. This is the one question which comes from general public. So if students attendance is low, instead of counseling them privately, some colleges call parents and insult or shame students publicly.
See, I don't know which college you are talking about, so I will not comment. But see, at our institute at least, parents are called after the student has been warned several times. I don't think child should feel insulted in front of parents. What is the insult? There is a parent, there is a teacher, there is a principal, and there is a student in question. Correct. So whatever is being told in the presence of the parent and the teachers. It is not like it's being done out in the open. And ultimately, what is there to be ashamed about your own mistakes in front of your own parent. Point number one. Second, anybody who is so sensitive about, oh, a reprimand also is taken as being shamed. Don't do the mistake. Don't do the mistake, because see, you should understand one more thing. It is much more easier for a teacher or a college or a principal to ignore all this. Barabar na?
Yeah.
Let people, those who come will come, those who will not come will not come. It is more easy.
Yeah.
In fact, monitoring their attendance, calling their parents, first calling the student, calling the parents, saying your son and daughter has not come. Sometimes the parent from that side will say, no, I only. Parents generally support the child in question. Sometimes parents, in fact, tell the teacher, my son has gone to college every day. You are telling lies. Why would somebody? It's more difficult to do. Nobody is doing it for a sadistic pleasure, saying, "Isko main fix kar dunga." No, we are doing it out of concern.
Yeah.
Because we want them to come regularly. Otherwise, it's more easier. I said no.
Yeah.
I'll allow everybody to come to. Don't you think it's easier if I don't make attendance compulsory? I go to the class. Only 10 students are there. My job is easier.
Yeah.
Instead, when I make it compulsory, 60 students full in class. Some of them are upset because I made attendance compulsory. Either they're going to make noise or they're going to ask me questions. The teacher is making the life difficult for himself or herself by making attendance stricter.
Yeah.
Okay, and I don't think it is shaming if they're being told what they are doing in the presence of their parents. Point number one. Second, if it is done in full public, wrong. Because, like I said about the confidence thing, confidence will go. But please also understand, teacher also is human. For example, I meet Anurag at the end of the first semester, attendance less, parents come. I meet Anurag again in the second semester, attendance less. I meet Anurag in the third semester, attendance less. You really think the teacher is Buddha or some Zen person who doesn't get angry? I'm saying every semester you are coming at the end of the semester. Same thing. Sorry sir, sorry madam. And then bond paper पे लिख के भी देंगे. Again next semester again I see you.
Yeah.
So then obviously I'm going to get frustrated saying I see you every semester. And what happens, I'll tell you. First semester Anurag comes with father. Second semester Anurag comes with mother. Third semester Anurag comes with uncle. Fourth semester Anurag comes with auntie. And each of the elderly person is saying, इस बार माफ कर दो sir.
अगली बार देखेंगे.
Because mother cannot come second time because she knows I have already apologized once. Father comes, says, oh, second semester मेरा कथा.
Yeah.
Then, and the worst is, see, I am answerable to Navin's parents also.
Yeah.
You are only looking at your thing. Tomorrow Navin's parents will say, अरे यार Anurag तो you allowed for last 4 semesters. मेरा बेटा का only 4 semester, first 3 semesters तो अच्छा था, तो क्या हो गए? So see, it's easier for people to make somebody else a scapegoat.
Yeah.
As much as I understand teacher is a responsible person, teacher, etc. I think teachers or the college is made a scapegoat a lot of times. It will become much easier to blame external entity for all your problems. You see, I see parents coming and saying, इस बार माफ कर दो. I am saying, come on, you dealt with this child for 18, 19 years. In 19 years, आप सुधर नहीं पाए उसको. And you're expecting us to do it in 3 years.
True.
आपका मजबूरी है. See, parents का मजबूरी है कि they have to deal with the child. College का मजबूरी नहीं है. I don't need to deal with a chronic, habituated offender. I'll say goodbye, thank you. I have an option. आपको option नहीं है. Tomorrow if my daughter does a mistake, I will also go like that parent. I have gone once in school. My daughter had made a mistake. I went. I sat like all the parents sit. Karma, they say karma comes back. So I am always dealing with parents. So उस दिन मैं गया था. I sat in front of the school principal. I said, I'm sorry. I had to apologize. Because my daughter was in the wrong. Okay.
Then do you think fear and humiliation make student better?
Humiliation is wrong word I said. No. Humiliation. See, again I'll tell you. Humiliation doesn't do anybody good. Forget student. Humiliation does not do good to anybody. I said earlier, ne? See, if you humiliate a person, what happens? Self-confidence goes. What is your purpose? Do you want to correct him or her, or you want to humiliate?
Yeah.
My purpose when I call somebody is to correct that person, which can be done without humiliating.
Yeah.
Humiliation is wrong. Anybody, why shouldn't? Humiliation for anybody in this world is wrong. Because when you humiliate somebody, you are making them more rebellious. खुन्नस, they get that खुन्नस.
Yeah.
So they will not change. उल्टा वो लोग वो चीज ज्यादा करेंगे which you want them to not do.
If attendance decide a student future, should one bad phase in life have the power to destroy their career?
No, what do you call it destroying? I'll tell you how. Simple thing. Okay, attendance decides student future. Correct. Attendance actually doesn't decide student future. And I'll tell you why attendance is important. Actually, this is not for my ego satisfaction or the college ego satisfaction now. See, unless you come to a class, unless you sit with fellow students, unless you listen to different teachers, unless you are part of different discussions in the class, you will never ever understand and appreciate different point of views. Only when you come to a class, you ask my students, I tell them, which they never do. I tell them, why is it that you sit with the same person every day? कि इसके बाजू में यही बैठेगी.
Circle of friends.
हाँ, मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ. That's what I'm saying. I tell them, please change your partner at least in the classes. Sit with a new student. कम से कम उसका नाम पूछो. Hi, hello, where are you from? तो एक नया पहचान हो गया. Tomorrow morning you smile at them. Semester खत्म होते होते you know all the 60 people, which is what we need to know. Understand different points of view. That will happen if you come to class. Okay, I know a lot of students will say, hey, without coming to class I'll pass. Then you do the external thing. Do online. Why you come to college? That is one. Second, see, a lot of times parents come and pressurize, sometimes emotionally blackmail, कि यार इसका 1 year will get lost, etc. etc. I ask everybody, okay, suppose I fail or you fail, what will happen? You will earn 1 year later, assuming after education you are going to get into job. 1 year what loss? People, that says, destroying students' future. I don't think if somebody finishes a graduation in 4 years instead of 3 years, their future is destroyed. In fact, their future is destroyed if they pass a course in 3 years without doing nothing in 3 years. Because outside in life also they expect that they should get whatever they want without doing anything. क्या हो गया? 1 year late, what happened? 1 year late, okay. इतना तुमको bad face करना, agree. Bad face. But then bad face, who brought upon yourself? We made mistakes. Ne? I was very sincere, hardworking, blah, blah, blah in BSc. I got 90%, I got first rank. I never went to classes, I bunked classes. All that nonsense happened. I got second class. So what? I destroyed my future. No? Anyway, my teachers didn't destroy. I can't blame my MBA teachers and MBA college. I spoiled it. I was not regular. I bunked classes. I was in a relationship. I could not manage my relationship. I messed it up. So I suffered. But today, by God's grace, I'm in a good position in life. That MBA second class didn't decide my future. It did from time to time deprive me of whatever I could have got. I had cleared my CAT examination. I would have done my doctorate from IIM Bangalore if only my MBA was first class. But 56 reject ho gaye. But do I blame fate? No. I screwed it up. I one of my mistake. Okay. So to blame an education institution saying, oh, attendance destroy your future. No. Please learn to be responsible for yourself. You are 18 plus. And in India, the constitution allows you to vote. They believe you are responsible to decide future of the country. So please be responsible. How long you are going to blame others? College ऐसा कर दिया, teacher ऐसा कर दिया, वो ऐसा कर दिया. No. It's very convenient to blame somebody else because you'll feel good about yourself. Attendance क्या है? See, 5 hours a day. 6 days a week. 30 घंटे. Out of 168 hours. 138 is yours now still. Oh, strict. What strict? And people problem is what? 8:30 they can't come. Why? Because they sleep at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, Instagram, chat. You are busy being somebody's 4 a.m. friend. You're somebody's 4 a.m. friend, no? They are telling and you're listening. So you sleep at 4 o'clock, you get up at 7:38, you get up at 9 o'clock. You will not come for 8:30 class. वो तुम्हारा priority. So if your priority is being somebody's 4 a.m. friend or sleeping later, then don't blame the college.
Yeah.
And you join knowing it is at 8:30, right?
Yeah.
You know it is at 8:30. In the counseling it is told you attendance is compulsory. Still you have joined.
Yeah, true.
Then you made a choice. You made an informed, conscious choice. Then why blame us? No, because see, otherwise You do correspondence, no boss? BBA is available online. BCom is available online. There's so many institutions doing online. What they want is they want the best part of it, which is events, meeting friends, freshers, farewell, after party. They want all that. Therefore, they want a college. What difficult part they don't want. नारियल के अंदर का मलाई चाहिए but ऊपर का नहीं. Then how is it possible? Nature also doesn't allow you that.
Many students feel strictness, often ignores personal problems and financial crisis and all.
Anurag, you need to understand one thing.
Okay.
If I start treating people differently based on their personal problems, which are either genuine or somebody is faking it. I cannot, if you come to me and tell you have a personal problem, Naveen also comes and tells. How can I know who is genuine, who is not genuine? How do you know who is genuine, who is not genuine? Can I say, I think Anurag is genuine, I'll give an excuse. Naveen, yours is not genuine, I'll not give an excuse.
But don't you think it's your duty?
You think, I'm speaking from my point of view, the teacher point of view. I can't treat people differently for the same mistake. Then you'll say partiality. You please understand. Then you'll say partiality.
Yeah.
Correct, no? Because see, somebody says I'm not well. Okay, they get a doctor certificate. Another person also will get a doctor certificate. I'll say this fellow is sincere. I trust him. I'll allow for exam. You are not sincere. I'll not allow means. It is difficult when you are running a disciplined system to account for individual problems. See, what I can do is I can hear out the student. If the student is comfortable sharing the personal problem with me or any other staff, we can give them moral support. We can stand with them. But we can't bend rules for the personal problem because every other student, see, you lost a year, for example, because of a rule. Next year, I mean, asking for a favor for the same thing. Will it be right on my part to give him an excuse for which you already lost a year? Because, see, I understand individual students might feel let down. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. That's why suddenly you asked me, what do you want to say to people who dislike you? My job is like that. Our job is like that we are going to not keep everybody happy. Oh, hone wala hai. Can't help. Because they don't know. Naveen doesn't know that last year you lost a year. He's asking for a concession. I know last year I made sure you didn't fill the form. You lost 1 year. I can't give him a chance and that is injustice to you. You lost only 1 year. And see, when we take decisions, reality is we are always observed. See, students are all friends. Sometimes, somebody comes for a signature. Attendance less tha assignment khatam karke. I sign one person's, within 10 minutes, all 8 people will come. They are all in touch. Mera ho gaya, tum aa jao. So there is no way we can treat people differently. Financial problem, see, I am an employee. I can give time for the fees, whatever it is, till the last date possible. Jo mere haath mein. And as far as I can remember, till date, nobody has lost a year because of finance. Nobody has ever lost a year because of finance. Okay. Sometimes some people say, sir, hamari bas ki baat hai nahi. After joining our financial situation change, we will not be able to do all this. Can you give us a TC and we go to Samadhi, which we have done. So financially, to never ever. Personally, which is unfortunately more of the heartbreak wala scene. Yeh scene hai, majority. Okay. We give them, see, if need be, we will talk to them. But we can't give that as an excuse. Right? Because see, people observe. You said no, first division and fourth division. Fourth division person is observing first division student. This person is going for some wedding for 10 days. We will see what sir will do. Sir ka favorite student hai. 10 din he or she is going. Then they realize, oh, isko bhi ineligible kar de. Sir ka favorite student 10 days went ineligible. Then everybody is happy. Then everybody is happy. You know what is their point of view sometimes, which is in the minority always. They say, sir, hum itne sab karte hai college ke liye. Once we took 10 days off and you made us ineligible. They will not come in the discussion. They are less in number. They will silently feel bad. We are doing so much for the college. Once for attendance less, you are not allowing us. In fact, they get less concessions than a habitual offender gets. And see, my belief, I'll tell you, a good teacher or a good administrator should not strive to be popular. If you are a popular teacher or a popular administrator, that means you are a wrong person. It won't happen. It comes with the territory. People will not like you. Can't help.
In Three Idiots movie, it's saying like students are like treated like a rank producing machines. Do you think today's education system still values marks more than understanding?
Obviously, even now it is. But I'll tell you one very interesting perspective in 3 days, which no student observes, no student remembers. There is virus, Bowen Irani's character. Then there is silencer, that guy who is this stereotype person who anybody who's good in academics is supposed to be like that stereotype. The silencer. Then there is Rancho. Correct. In the end, the pen is given to Rancho. The teacher is still impartial. Virus, for all his drawbacks, doesn't give the pen to silencer, gives it to Rancho. Nobody talks about it. It's convenient to say, oh, virus is like this, virus is like that, etc. etc. But what struck me, what I was very happy as a teacher was, he gives the pen to Rancho only. He is always overlooked. Nobody talks about it. Because it doesn't go with your thinking. No, in your thinking, pen is given to silencer only. No, virus gives it to Rancho. That always happens.
The movie says run behind the accident, not success, but college still run behind the results and ranking.
No, see, again, wrong. It's not the college alone. Your parents also run behind the results. That's what I'm saying. It's very. What do you think your parents do? Parents also worried about your marks. Because for them, your marks are their social status. तुम अच्छा नहीं कर रहे हो, डॉक्टर का बेटा is not doing well, doctor feels bad, my son is not intelligent, engineer का बेटा feels the same, teachers, children think, oh, I am teaching the entire world, my daughter is not intelligent. So we are also, that's why I said it's a societal problem. It's not just education problem. It is societal problem. Sometimes when I'm sending, for example, let's say, few of my students, we promote events both in terms of conducting and in terms of participation. That is something that we have been pushing very hard in our college, and we send a lot of them to different places for inter-college competitions, etc. See, the parent is happy as long as the prize is won. And moment exams start coming near, they say, now no more going, sit 1 month and study for the exam. Even though I can tell a lot of experience, I'm sure the children also realize, the students in question, they are getting much better exposure and learning there. But the parent says, last 1 month, no more going anywhere, you already missed a lot of classes, study. So it's a societal issue. Marks, it's not even just marks, it is certification. Certification. I passed. Certification. I threw the hat out. Oh, graduation. It is the symbolism and less of the knowledge. It is everybody's. I think it's a societal issue. Marks being focused too much.
But also in Three Idiots movie showed that one education system doesn't fit every student. Why does college still expect every student to learn, behave and succeed the same way?
No, that's what I'm saying. I keep disagreeing with you. I'll tell you why. No, I'll tell you why. Why is there such a fascination for science? PUC 1 and 2. Fascination is there. From where? Society, parents. That's why more science colleges are coming. That is why, arts, somebody pursuing arts, people are looked down upon. Now, for example, when my elder daughter currently doing arts in St. Joseph, Bangalore, when she expressed at home saying, I'll do arts, my mother was furious. My mother was angry saying, Arey, why are you doing arts? As if arts was a downgrade. Correct. In science, commerce, arts, there's a clear hierarchy in society. Science, commerce, arts. Now go to degree, MBBS, dental, engineering, then all courses. Now we did BSc. Now you look at people who done BSc, and they'll say, you didn't need engineering. So the society has created a hierarchy. Colleges are just milking it or doing it accordingly. Correct? Yes. Can't help. And one more thing, I'll tell you what happens. What nobody understands. Customizing it to everybody now is Herculean task. In college, if you're going to customize it for everybody, suppose Naveen says, sir, I will 30 marks internal is there. He'll say all 30 I'll do assignment. Okay, you will say all 30 field work. Okay, and Srajal says all 30 I'll do internal exam. Can I do all 3? So I have to have some common basic minimum, because when the number increases, no, there is no way you have to uh, do it independently. See, today marketing people are able to customize because internet gives them free of cost access to every individual customer, and you can ask for customization and they will deliver it to you. Education is not like that. No? Education at a time 60 people, 80 people are being taught. How can we customize? So basic minimum जो भी होगा have to be done.
Did you watch English medium movie?
Yeah.
The movie shows how English speaking students are treated as a superior.
Correct.
Those who think language still decide the respect and confidence in college. Should intelligence be judged by fluency in English?
No, no. Should, no. Does it? Yes.
Okay.
Should it be? No. Wrong it is. Does it? Yes. I'll tell you why again. See, again you look at things. We have this concept whenever we meet in social circles. Anybody who speaks English is good English is intelligent person. Our thought process it is. Somebody's, and when sometimes you say, what all he spoke, I didn't understand a word. That hi-fi English it was. The more vocabulary is higher, like Shashi Tharoor, people say, oh, very intelligent. Okay. Now, should it be like that? No. Is it like that? Yes. I'll tell you why. Now, you spoke about placement. Correct. Now, people who are seeking for placement want basic minimum English.
Yeah.
Unless I get the English of the student to a particular level, he or she is not going to get placed. So, I have to get that done to that level. If I say, no, I'm okay with whatever you speak, I get a lot of people. When I teach the first division, no, based on PUC percentages, a lot of them have got very good percentages, 90, 92. Can't speak an English word. And I tell them saying, boss, speak. If you ever listen to Chandrababu Naidu's earlier videos, not now, earlier when he just came to the scene, no, if you see his English, complete broken English. But he brought at that time Microsoft to Hyderabad. As long as I understood what you said, communication is complete according to me. Forget a grammatical thing. I said something you understood, communication complete. Need not necessarily be grammatically correct. Perfectly okay. But people are hesitant. Because I'll tell you what happens. You look at English medium schools. Typical English medium schools are what? Convent schools. Where there is a premium on English. If you speak wrong English, people will laugh at you.
Yeah.
So the fear sets in the school only. You are treated badly if you don't speak good English. By the time they come to us, they are already scared to speak a word. They're like, if I speak, everybody will laugh. Hopefully with AI and all this is happening now. See, there is a funny side. Now I get all excellent leave notes. Fabulous leave notes. Excellent resignation letters. Because they put it in the chat GPT. All resignation letters say, I'm willing to help for the transition process and I'm grateful to the organization. And every student's leave note says, I'll make good of the classes best sir or madam. Now this is even bigger problem. Because without learning English, you're sending a correct English note.
Yeah.
But with the AI, if you saw that Modi's interview was there with whom the Prime Minister's interview was there with one very famous podcast guy abroad. Joe Rogan, who was it? He did a big podcast, did a long podcast with somebody from abroad, very famous guy. If you saw that podcast, no, it was simultaneously translated in multiple languages. The Prime Minister was speaking in Hindi and he was replying in English. The Prime Minister was speaking in English, Hindi. It was getting translated to him in English. And he was speaking in English and it was getting translated to the of course, Prime Minister understands English. And the same podcast was translated into so many languages worldwide. So maybe with that AI thing, no, maybe slowly but surely, I think we'll all come equal. Even if your English is not good, I will ask you a question in Kannada and you will understand it in English. You will reply it in English. I will get it translated in Kannada. Then maybe AI will probably be that equalizer and maybe will not be required to learn the language.
Yeah.
And see, how about learning a language? How about learning a language? If we treat English as a language alone, nothing else. Because don't we go and see Telugu movies, Tamil movies? Now the subtitles have come. But otherwise also earlier people used to go and see. Learn Telugu, Tamil just to understand the song. It is an interest. Maybe because English is forcibly done, therefore maybe the resistance.
This will be the last question. if students makes a movie about their college life, what kind of principle would you want to be remembered as?
Somebody who had their good in heart and was a very strict person. Very strict person. I have no hesitation in that. See, I'll tell you what happens. There is an English saying that says, familiarity breeds contempt. Familiarity breeds contempt. Teaching is a profession where you can't let people take you for granted. It will do more harm to students than good. I always say, no. See, a teacher and student cannot be like this. It's a myth. It has to be like this. Because, see, I am somebody who loves Shah Rukh Khan to death. Okay. And when Mohabbat released, people came and told me, you're Shah Rukh Khan. I said, no, I'm Amitabh Bachchan. I will not be Shah Rukh Khan. I'm Amitabh Bachchan only. Because you look at your parents also. Whom are you more scared of between the parent?
Dad,
Who speaks more to you?
mom.
I rest my case. That's how it is.
Yes, how was it?
I see. I basically love talking, so I talk. It is for you all to decide, and we later on others to decide.
If people ever ask me in future who is your favorite guest, this will be my favorite podcast and favorite guest.
Thank you so much.
Because in this, I don't want to stop talking only. I hope this podcast helps many students also to,
I really don't. No expectations.
but hope it will be help students and many people also.